so I'm clearly not doing a very great job of vlogging. The last clips that you saw are from the Saturday that I was out. I attended a seminar with Maggie Stiefvater, and the seminar is called Portraits and Dreams, and she talked a little bit about writing and her methods, and it was really inspiring and I really enjoyed it. I attended that with DJ from Life and Fiction, and then I went to Books of Wonder and met up with Kristen from Super Space Chick, and we attended Maggie's signing, which was really fun. It's been years since the last time I saw Maggie. She was actually one of the first authors I ever met in real life, and that was really, really something. Anyway, I have been terrible about doing reading updates, but I did finish King of Scars before January ended. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am so happy to be back in the Grishaverse, and I think it's going to be such an interesting story, and I can't wait to see the conclusion. I did prefer Nikolai's point of view and Zoya's point of view to Nina's point of view initially, but by the end I was like equally invested in all three. And it was just so nice to be back in this world, to see such familiar faces, and to spend more time with Nikolai, the love of my Grishaverse life. And then, at the beginning of February, the first book that I finished was The Art of Losing by Lizzie Mason. It's about Harley Langston, and her life changes forever one summer night when she goes home from a party and leaves her boyfriend and her younger sister there after she discovers them making out with each other. And they get into an accident on the way home because her ex is drunk and her sister's in a coma, and so Harley has to deal with that. She has to deal with a lot of emotional stress, really, and it doesn't help when a former acquaintance, her childhood friend Raph, who is also her next door neighbor, comes back into the picture. And I like how this explores how teens deal with a variety of emotional stress factors, because that's the most interesting part. It also explores alcoholism, rehab, familiar relationships, complicated romance. It was very intensely good, and it was a solid debut, so check it out. And then in the course of a few hours, I finished reading Devil's Daughter by Lisa Kleypas, which is the 5th book in the Ravenel series, and I just love when there are allusions to my favorite historical romance of all time, Devil in Winter, in a book. And the main female character in this one, Phoebe, is actually the daughter of the couple in that book, and I loved it. So in this one, Phoebe is a widow. She has 2 small children, and she also does not like West Ravenel because he is the person who bullied her husband when they were in boarding school. And West Ravenel, of course, also knows that he is technically a rake with a very terrible reputation, and he doesn't want to bring that on anyone, and he doesn't consider himself worthy of anyone. But when they meet, sparks fly, and so they have to decide if the past is going to prevent them from being together or not. And it was really fun, really good. A full review will go up on the blog at some point this month, and I can't wait. And now I'm currently reading 2 things. I am reading Running with Lions by Julian Winters, which is about a soccer team off at a training camp for the summer, and the relationships between the boys on the team, specifically Sebastian and a former friend of his named Amir. And so far it's really good. I'm quite enjoying it. And then I'm also reading Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith. I didn't know going into this one that it was actually a fairy tale retelling inspired by the Goose Girl, but knowing that and reading it has been a lot of fun for me. I am really into this. It reads really fast. I am enjoying the characters. I like the little spin on the blood magic, and I cannot wait to see how things play out. So that's what I've been reading lately. Hopefully I actually remember to update again. We're on the road because we're going to a tiny house this weekend. Right, Debbie? I want to be next time.
Thrilled.
That was kind of blurry, but that's fine. Anyway.
Like my life choices. No, I'm kidding. Hi. A little blurry.
No, it's not blurred anymore. What are you reading? What are you reading?
I am actually plotting. Yes, plotting.
For your Shadowhunters game?
Yeah, that's happening in the background, but whenever I'm plotting now for the future stories I'm going to write have to do with the eventual creation of the Shadowhunters game. That is going to happen. So, very excited to start running that.
Hi, Rach.
Hi! Lit.
Mel's driving.
Hey,
and she's disappointed now because the music has stopped playing.
Yep. Rachel took my corgi.
Look guys, it's a tiny house.
It's a tiny house. Yes, it is.
And also, there is that. We are in our little tiny house for the night. That's where Maki and I will be sleeping. This is our tiny room. This is the living room. There's like a couch there, and the kitchen there. Ooh, focus. on me. And then Maki is sitting at the table with a drink. Cheers to the weekend. That's where Mel and Rachel are planning to sleep, although I don't know if they'll get up there. Bathroom. Then we have our view of the outdoors. Can you imagine? We're gonna do a fire pit later, which will be fun. But also, look how beautiful that is. I love getting away from the city. There's the creek. Cheers! Happy early birthday!
The best people.
Good morning, house. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
Look, it's food. Mackie
Oh,
made
wait, it's me.
breakfast. Yay.
Yes, I did.
You say something right.
Mel made avocado toast because Mackie doesn't like avocados.
More for everyone else.
Yay.
Wait.
Hi friends! So I am doing a terrible job of doing a reading vlog this time. Like, I keep forgetting to vlog when I finish reading. But in my defense, it's been a pretty busy week and I've been up to a lot of fun things. Anyway, so first, before even talking about books, I'm gonna talk to you guys about Kingdom Hearts 3 because I finally got a chance to start it. We actually had it on pre-order. It came the day it came out. And I hadn't had a chance to play it because I hadn't had a chance to like sit down and really enjoy it. But yesterday night, I finally just took the time to sit down, play it. I played the entire first part of it and it was so much fun and I cannot wait to keep going. Very entertaining, and it's beautifully animated as always. Anyway, quickly gonna run through the books that I finished since the last time I updated you guys on my reading. Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith, which, like I said, was inspired a little bit by the Goose Girl. Even knowing the main elements of that plot and the different characters in it, there was still something unique enough about this one that it was a really fun read in the end. It ends on a really strong note, like it ends well, and it could be read as a standalone, but I also think that it needs to be a series, which it is, because there are some unresolved things that need to be resolved. I had a lot of fun reading this. I particularly enjoyed the magic system. I thought it was very interesting, and I will definitely be picking up the sequel. And then on Friday, I actually binge read an entire book in almost one sitting, and that's Girls with Sharp Sticks by Suzanne Young. This was such a surprise. I did not know much going into it. I didn't really expect to love it as much as I did, but I did love it. Like, it was so well done. It was so compelling. I just could not stop reading it. The entire premise centers around this all-girls private boarding school where the girls are brought up to be the best that society has to offer in terms of beauty and comportment. But the girls at the school slowly realize that maybe their circumstances aren't all they seem, and it's just so well done. I am very impressed. This was my first Suzanne Young book, and I will definitely be reading more from her after this one. I'm secretly hoping that there's a sequel, even though it ends really well too. It's just so... I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to spoil it because the best way to go into this one is not really knowing that much about it. I just really liked it a lot and I would recommend it for sure. I also finished within a day Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schulte. It's basically a very light fantasy read / murder mystery. It's set in the kingdom of Kadara where there are 4 queens, one for each quadrant. There is Ionia, which is a technological quadrant. There is Toria, which is into exploration and knowledge. Ludia, passion and the arts. And Archia, which is more agricultural. The story centers around a girl named Carolee who is tasked to steal something from a messenger. The messenger tries to recover this item from her, and then the two of them discover that the item actually indicates that the 4 queens were murdered, and so they're struggling to keep the secret, find the culprit, and figure out what's going on with the 4 dead queens. And it was really fun. Like, it's not the greatest fantasy book I've ever read, but it was really fun to read. It was really quickly paced. I enjoyed it for what it was. My favorite part, I think, is the 4 quadrants, the world. I thought that part was really interesting, and I like that it's a standalone and that it wrapped up pretty well, even though it was slightly, like, rushed, I think. That's how I feel about the ending. Yesterday, I just finished reading Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I finally read this one. I really liked this one. I liked the movie when I went to see it last year with my sisters. I really enjoyed it, and it was kind of fun to be able to read it and have an image in mind of what all these characters look like and everything. And it really is essentially exactly what happens in the first movie, except that there are more details. There are a couple more characters that didn't appear in the movie, and it was just fun. Like, what I find most interesting about it is that it reflects a reality that I'm semi-familiar with, which is always interesting. It also made me really hungry for Singaporean food, and it made me want to visit Singapore and Hong Kong again. So what I'm currently reading is My Favorite Half-Night Stand by Christina Lauren. So this one is about a girl and her 4 platonic guy best friends, and they all decide that they need to start dating again. And as far as I understand it, they all get on this app, and then something happens with one of the best friends. I don't know. It's Christina Lauren, guys. I am hoping I'm going to really enjoy this and that I'll fly through it. I'm also excited because today, the 15th, is the day that I get to announce OTAKUATHON with Kristen. OTAKUATHON is like our little event that we're hosting to celebrate our love of manga and anime and to indulge in it for like a couple of days. And all the details will be in the video or in the blog post. Both will be linked down below. Cannot wait! I didn't do an intro yesterday, but basically I got to hang out with my friends Kristen and Rachel, and we did a belated Galentine's Day thing and visited a couple of spots in New York City and just had a good time. So I guess I should do some form of a contemporary-thon update. This is probably going to be the last part of this vlog as well. I just finished reading Field Notes on Love by Jennifer E. Smith, and I'm like just emotional about it. There was just something about this story that resonated so deeply with me on both sides of it. There are 2 characters, May and Hugo, and the entire story is basically that they end up taking a train journey that is cross-country across America together because of certain circumstances. And it's just, I don't know, there's just something about the personal thing that they both had to go through that really resonated with me on both counts, and I'm just like highly emotional about it. I'm so happy I love this book though. I've enjoyed a lot of Jennifer E. Smith's books, but this is probably one of my top reads from her, and I genuinely can't wait for everyone else to be able to read this book, and it was just so good. And now, to comfort myself, I am going to go back to reading. I'm going to read My Favorite Half-Night Stand by Christina Lauren, or continue reading it. I'm hoping that there will be enough banter and like fun stuff in this one to calm my emotions down, but I just wanted to take a minute and say that it was really, really good. Field Notes on Love was really good, and I'm so glad I enjoyed it. Also, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I have completed 3 worlds right now, and 2 just popped up, and I get to start them later. And it's been really fun, and I've really enjoyed it. My favorite so far has been Toy Story, the toy box. It was so cool. Hi guys, so this is gonna be the actual wrap up for that vlog. I also finished reading My Favorite Half-Night Stand by Christina Lauren. It was cute. Not my favorite Christina Lauren. I am usually fine with miscommunication plots because that's typically what ends up happening in a romance. They're usually fine for me, and that's sort of the case with this one. Like, it made me so uncomfortable though that they were just lying to each other, because that's really hard. On some level, I could understand how hard it might be for some people to let down those walls, and like having the anonymity of the internet could help with that. Again, still not my favorite Christina Lauren, but needed something to like lift my spirits a little bit after reading Field Notes on Love, and which, even though that one made me happy, like I just felt so emotionally ravaged by reading it. So I read My Favorite Half Night Stand, and then I proceeded to play Super Mario Party with my sisters and overcooked with them until like 2 in the morning. So now I am actually starting the Penderwicks. Contemporary-thon is over, but I still wanted to read this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try and squeeze it in, although I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get interrupted playing video games today, so can't say I'm complaining though, because I love having the day off. Anyway, till the next vlog, I will see you guys soon. Bye!